listening to Two Nerds and a Universe.
Welcome back to the pod. I'm Alex.
I'm Brandon.
And this is Two Nerds and a Universe, where we do in-depth discussion of all things nerdy and give you opinions nobody asked for.
All right, today's the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
SpiderMan, the SpiderMan trailer.
I know we've been talking about it, and everyone's been talking about SpiderMan Brand New Day, and now we're all excited, and even people are anticipating that this is going to be the most watched movie of the year. And that's crazy coming in a year of The Odyssey and Doomsday and Dune 3, and everyone's thinking Spider-Man Brand New Day might actually have the record this year for the most box office.
I mean, yeah, we got a great year of movies coming up, and
what a time to be a movie lover.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
everything that we just stated, Super Mario,
yeah,
Clayface,
coming out Wednesday, I think.
Superwoman,
Michael next month.
Yeah, Michael. It's just the GOAT. It's just so much great movie content that's coming out that it's just, I feel bad for the people that say, I don't really watch movies or I don't really like movies, because it's like, man, you're missing a time right now. What a time.
100%. But here we go. How's this gonna work? We have like a video thing here.
We're gonna watch Brand New Day trailer. We're gonna react to it. We're gonna say a couple things that we like, things that we notice. Our viewers will be able to see it too as well, so it'll be fun. We'll dive into it.
Okay. Real quick, I don't suppose I know you don't watch a lot of trailers these days, but that hasn't been your prerogative like the entirety of your life. Have you watched other Spider-Man trailers in the past?
No.
No?
I mean, Spider-Man 1 and 2, when it came out, I was like 4. So no.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3, I was still young. So no. I remember going to the movies to watch them. But, I mean, if you tell me right now, yeah, I remember the trailers to the movies that are in the early 2000s and me being born in 98, you're not going to remember the trailers. I never remember King Kong trailer. I don't remember that. I don't remember Iron Man trailer. Maybe I do remember like vividly Iron Man trailer, but like it just as a kid, I was never, you would see it, but then you're just like, okay, I'm just ready to watch the movie. You know what I mean?
You're absolutely right.
It's not until now everybody's like, okay, let's get into these trailers. What are they showing us? And then ever since they did terrible with Infinity War and showed us Hulk when he actually wasn't in the movie, now I don't take everything they show us for face value.
Yeah, you kind of see a similar thing with Spider-Man No Way Home. I believe in like South America or something like that.
Yeah.
One of the trailers they released over there showed that shot of Tom Holland's Spider-Man swinging to fight all three
Sandman,
of his villains. And I think the trailer that they gave out in South America ended up showing
one of the lizards.
The getting kicked in the face by nobody.
Yeah.
So they're known to omit sort of things every once in a while. I myself remember seeing Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 3 when I was a kid, and I remember getting excited for that. And then I also remember The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield.
That I remember.
That I remember. Obviously number 2.
And that's my Spider-Man.
Yes, absolutely. And then of course I remember all of the other Tom Holland trailers.
Yeah, of course.
So the earliest one that I remember was going to be Spider-Man 3, and I gotta say I was despite how poorly received that movie was, I was very excited to see that movie. So
what year was that? Did that come out? Spider-Man 3?
I don't remember off the top of my head. That's like early 2000s. But
I'll tell you right now. I'm trying to remember.
What I will say is, despite how up until this point, despite how poorly received that movie was, I think I would probably say the Spider-Man 3 trailer was the one that got me the most excited.
2007.
2007.
So we were 9.
And then up to this point, for a Spider-Man movie, I should say. But this trailer,
so excited,
has got me excited. I will say that 100%. This has now replaced Spider-Man 3 as my most favorite trailer for a Spider-Man movie, because I'm really excited.
I mean, I get it, right? I've seen the trailer, and I don't really watch trailers, and I watched this trailer. I watched this, and I watched same time Dune 3, right? So watching all these trailers, and I don't normally do it, but I can't just be out of the loop when everyone else is doing it. So I definitely watched this. I'm really excited for it. I feel like they did the same thing with that. I feel like there's a couple places where they might have taken out, digitally removed a character that is in there. But I'm excited for the movie. And I love this particular shot in the trailer with the inverted view. It just kind of reminds me of my favorite movie, which is Spider-Verse. And Spider-Verse, they're like great for this inverted view right here. So I'm so excited. So we can start playing it and we can start like talking more about it.
Absolutely. Let's dive in.
This I loved.
I can't believe our first day goodbye to you. MJ, come on. Pretend like you're not the happiest you've ever been in your entire life.
I can't.
How sad, right? To just watch them from afar.
Yeah.
What a beautiful shot, too.
Mhm.
Hi, my name is Peter Parker.
I assume that was the note he was supposed to read to MJ.
But at the beginning.
Bad is gonna happen, and the only way to stop it
Kid
is to
City,
make everyone forget about
Daredevil
it.
2. Go watch.
Because I'm not just Peter Parker. I'm Spider-Man.
Just the greatest superhero, right?
No.
Suit yourself.
He's got to be one of the best vigilantes, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes Spider-Man has to do the hard thing, even if it breaks Peter Parker's heart.
Hmm.
It's Ezra Bridger, by the way,
Yeah.
from Star Wars Ahsoka.
Dude got ripped, didn't he?
Excuse me, Dr. Banner. I need your help. What'd you say, Animals?
His senses are so heightened now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Spiders have 3 life cycles. When between cycles, it can make a spider vulnerable to threats or
We are faced with a danger that we can't control.
Telepath.
Stay out of my way.
I'm so ready for Scorpion. He looks amazing.
and for those spiders who make it through, it amounts to a kind of
There's got to be someone under him, right?
Yeah, we're kind of seeing.
There's just so much open space.
Housewarming kid. I'm MJ. I'm just a neighbor from Russell.
You see in the background, she's also investigating Spider-Man
Yeah.
all over the wall.
So do you want to go to the beginning of this real quick?
Is there something that you noticed?
Yeah. So
You could just go over it. You could just talk about it.
all right. So yeah. So there's the trailer, right? And like you brought up, we sort of see. Well, actually, let's talk about the elephant in the room, right? The first thing that's the thing that's gonna be in all of this, we see that the whole world has forgotten about Peter Parker, right? So what does this actually mean for him? How does this affect him? I honestly haven't even thought about like the real effects of this until the trailer came out. I noticed that the sweater that he was wearing when he's talking with Dr. Banner isn't you know, the school that he was trying to go to, the school that MJ and is at. So obviously, why would they accept him in there? They don't even know who he is, right? He has no transcripts. He has no driver's license. He has no anything to connect him with anything. So he's a genius, obviously. Like he's up there, like zoom out. The entire character of Peter Parker is one of the smartest people in the Marvel universe.
See, so the thing is, when I like envision
One
how
of them.
When I envision how smart Peter Parker is, I don't automatically assume he is like Tony Stark level smart. I think Peter Parker is like you look at your Ivy League 4.5 GPA student, like just insanely smart. I do think that's Peter Parker. I don't think it's more so like, oh, he's one of the smartest in the entire Marvel.
Yeah, the reason why that doesn't immediately come to your mind when you think of Peter Parker, I believe everybody would respect the fact that he is, like you said, a 4.0 sort of like type of character.
Yeah.
Is because we only ever really get to see him as a high school student, a college student, and then maybe the beginning of him being an adult in all forms of cartoon or live action media since Spider-Man's they've been doing Spider-Man movies and TV shows and whatnot. But certainly in the comics, we do get to see a little bit of who he is as an adult, and that was a conversation that I was having with my boy AB back in college, and he kind of shone the light sort of like who he is as an adult, and you really do get to see him expand. He starts becoming like CEO of I think like Oscorp eventually, which is absolutely fantastic. And he does all these cool technological like advances and all that stuff. He's absolutely fantastic. So I do believe that he's up there with Iron Man at the very least. Reed Richards, absolutely not, right? Reed Richards is the smartest person
smartest man
in the universe, right? So huge difference between him and there. But certainly when it comes to Iron Man, as smart as he is, I would definitely say put Peter Parker, the character, on par with Tony Stark, the character.
That's fine. Even as a whole, when coming into this movie, I'm so excited for the type of life that he now has to live. Now he doesn't have to worry about mixing Spider-Man life with Peter Parker life, because Peter Parker life doesn't even exist because nobody even knows who he is. So you're probably thinking about these next 4 years. He probably didn't have in the movie, in the brand new day, there's a 4-year time gap. So at parts in the beginning of the trailer, it shows that, hey, they got accepted into MIT, right? And later on, it's a graduation thing. So there's 4 years in between. He probably didn't have any friends. Probably didn't have anybody he can vent to and things like that. So it's actually kind of cool that he's still. This is the problem. This is the problem with Spider-Man, and this is what I absolutely love about Spider-Man, and why he's why I think he is goated superhero, is that it's not fun being Spider-Man. It's not. He doesn't enjoy this. He does it because who else will? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's even a perfect example in Spider-Man 2 when he even puts the mask down and he throws it away and he walks away, and then he like realizes like, hey, this is my burden to bear, right? I know you think it's corny, but hey, with great power comes great responsibility.
I don't think it's corny at all.
We went to the movies, and as soon as you heard it, you literally were like, ugh.
No, I hate the fact that it came out in No Way Home. Don't mistake that for me hating the quote. The quote's fantastic, and it's something that everybody in all walks of life can benefit from. You do remember me like huffing and puffing about the fact that his aunt said it. Like, what the? It's not supposed to be her.
No, it doesn't matter. But Uncle Ben already died. She is the one that has to say that.
I was under the impression that he had already heard it, and like all Spider-Mans before that, that's what makes him. This is ridiculous, man.
And I don't even think, but he wasn't Spider-Man when Uncle Ben was still alive. It's assumed that he became Spider-Man after Uncle Ben. So whoever is his caretaker, nonetheless, Spider-Man is supposed to hear it from some caretaker.
It's supposed to be Ben.
It doesn't always have
to.
What
other adaptation allowed it to be anybody other than Ben?
Into the Spider-Verse, across the Spider-Verse, has he heard? With great power comes great responsibility.
It's a different character. That's not.
It's still
Peter Parker.
Still the variant. It's still like the Spider-Man.
Well, he's not the variant. That's the whole point of Across the Spider-Verse.
I understand that he is not Peter Parker, but it goes to show you that all Spider-Mans hear it at some point. I'm just trying to tell you, it doesn't always have to be the same thing. It doesn't have to be apples to apples. It can change. That's why I appreciate what Spider-Man does. Is he always goes and fights, even when there's nothing like in his life at these moments that work. Everything is just so complicated. There's work that's interfering with personal life that's interfering with so much other stuff, and yet he still chooses to fight. So these 4 years, I'm hoping they don't just skip through. I'm hoping they show you like a bunch of different flashbacks maybe, or
we kind of, sorry to interrupt you, but we do kind of see a little bit near the tail end of this. People like the
Hand are in there, Boomerang is in
Boomerang, Tarantula,
Scorpion.
Those are interesting characters. I mean, we never really get to see him too much in any other media out there.
I think the villains that are in the trailer, I don't think they're necessarily going to be like the main villain of the movie. I think it's just going to show you different villains that he's fought along the way. And then we're going to see who is like the main villain. Because there's so much ground level villains that he's fighting in here right now, right? He can't fight all of them. I mean, technically he can, but I don't think they're going to give you all of that, especially leading up to Doomsday. Yeah. Right? Like what plays a part in it. And I think that's where Jean Grey comes in. I think that's how you get Sadie Sink. I think that's going to be the focal point.
So, so you're saying Sadie Sink is going to be playing Jean Grey, and she's going to be the primary...
Well, I feel like it's mostly going to be about that because, I mean, one, they want to keep him street level, right? More grounded. So that's what you're getting in those 4 years. But I feel post that, you're going to be getting some good stuff that tie towards mutants that are going to start leading up to the mutant saga. right? That's Doomsday. That's
Yeah,
Secret Wars.
they've been hinting at that since Kamala Khan
Mhm.
in
Yeah, her
Miss-
her DNA. He
Miss
said it
Marvel.
was mutated.
Marvel.
He found a mutation, and then that's when the first time that word has ever been
Yeah, because
brought
Sony has had the
rights.
rights to it. You
Yeah.
can't say mutant, mutation, or any
None of
other
that.
variation of that word.
Mhm.
So the moment that Marvel had
Like, it-
immediately saying it.
Yeah, because before you'd hear like enhanced people. Well, like Cap said, we have enhanced people in the field or something like that. Now that you could say it, now it's opening up a whole new world. I do hope Mr. Negative is in here too. That'd be like so awesome to have Mr. Negative in here.
You think if they had him, then they would have shown him.
I mean,
I understand not putting Sadie Sink in the trailer,
well, she's in there.
despite the
That's her.
despite the fact that we all know she's playing
Yeah.
in that movie.
Well, they don't show her face, but
Yeah,
that's
what I'm
her.
saying.
That's her. Because even then, there's a lot of like release footage during filming. She's in that exact same outfit.
What outfit?
The outfit where she's in Peter's room
The
when she's there.
green-
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
green hood, and
Yeah.
she's raising her hands.
She's
and all
been
that stuff.
in that outfit when they've taken pictures of like the production and all that behind the scenes, and she's wearing that exact outfit.
Okay, yeah. So
It's her.
so we know she's in there. That's obviously a menacing sort of look. So it's not common. I don't think anybody's gonna be watching that, knowing that that's Sadie Sink, believing, oh, she's just being a cool protagonist. You know, she's got to be an antagonist of some degree.
I think she is, but I think more so like I think that the DOD is going to be involved, right? Like there's going to be a lot of stuff going on with the DOD probably trying to capture her, things like that.
Who's that? Days of Future Past. The person Stryker, right? Do you believe Stryker? I know that he had like a task force dedicated towards hunting down mutants since the beginning.
Off of the
It's his character. So
off of the trailer, no, not really, but I mean,
if she, because it would make sense that if somebody like Stryker or the leader, who's the leader of the Thunderbolts again, the female who's
Valentina.
Valentina, whether it be her or Stryker or somebody like that, if this person is hunting down mutants for whatever reason, I'm sure they're not going to be nice about it. And
no.
if that is the case, that could potentially cause somebody like Sadie Sink's character
To retaliate.
to retaliate a little bit.
Yeah.
And make them be a little more
Well, I think that's what we're gonna
aggressive.
do because you're not gonna look at her and unless you like Phoenix Force, you're not gonna look at her and automatically think, "Hey, villain." You know what I mean? She's clearly not. Seems like it, right? Because we haven't had a mutant introduction in Earth 616. So, hey, is she from a different universe? Right now that they open up multiverse, is this the Jean Grey that's supposed to be here, or is she a Jean Grey from another universe that's over here and she doesn't know how she got here, kind of thing? You know what I mean?
It's definitely a fantastic theory. I feel like that was solidified. That was done and done away with at the end of No Way Home. I don't think that there's any doors open or anything like that to suggest that.
Well,
This
that
could
one was
be-
that one was just predicated on Spider-Man and who knows Spider-Man and who knows Peter Parker or whatever. This, I mean, I don't think there's anything that says, oh, hey, now that Loki changed the outcome of a single, what was it? The single universe that the man who remains at the end of time, he who remains.
Yeah.
Well, now that everything is connected into the tree, right, with Loki, now I think there's more of an opportunity for that to happen. That's why there's incursions happening and things like that. So
Potentially. I know that Jean Grey in general, what is her powers? I mean, she has the power of telekinesis, which I've always said is OP.
she's got Phoenix Force, bro. That's
She's got
like
Phoenix Force.
that's like Omega level.
Similar to Charles Xavier, we do know that she has the power to manipulate people's minds. And
She's
if
a
that is the
telepath.
case, we sort of see in this trailer with that old lady that was driving this little tank that we're seeing on the screen over there. She almost is like possessed, right? And then it goes off to a soldier, and then
And
it
it
goes
goes
off
up to another soldier. Yeah.
So that could be Jean Grey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Possessing and manipulating people's minds from afar. Obviously, it's got to be from afar instead of just like right there physically.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like with this trailer, are you feeling like this whole scene right here with the tank, is that mid movie? Is that beginning of the movie?
I think this is more towards the end because I think this has to involve, of course, Jean. And I don't think Jean is going to come in the 4 years that they're in school. I think this is after they graduate. So I think this is, and even then, I could be wrong, but even for the whole movie, I think that's 4 years in between. It'll probably be 20, 30 minutes of Peter Parker in those 4 years that before they graduate.
Okay.
Then I think most of the movie is going to take place after they graduate. That's when you're going to get to like the meat and potatoes of the movie. So I think that's going to be later. Off of watching this trailer, I know you've already said it too. What is your excitement level for Spider-Man: Brand New Day?
I'm definitely incredibly excited for it.
Okay.
I think it'll change the game.
Yeah.
Kind of with Spider-Man. I've never really. He's always in the comics like around. He's not a mutant. He doesn't have the X gene or anything like that. That would indicate a mutant. A mutant is a normal human being
That was born with
born with the X gene,
Yeah.
and then some external factor causes that gene to mutate.
Yeah.
And then that would cause.
Yeah,
him
because
to-
he wasn't born Spider-Man. He got bit by a radioactive spider.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But despite that, in the comics, he's almost always working with or around the
X-Men.
or mutants in general.
I'm excited. I'm extremely excited for the movie. I will say, and I do have a question. And do you think, based off of how excited you are of Spider-Man, if it's anything less than this number, it fell short of your expectations?
8. If it's anything less than 8, then
So you
I'm
think
not-
it's anything less than 80%? You're there like, no, it flopped.
Yeah, 100%. I do think that. Yeah. But you were seeing Frank Castle here as well. I don't think that you have to watch all of the Punisher and Daredevil in order to fully enjoy this. When I initially watched this trailer, I thought that Frank Castle was only going to be here for one sort of throwaway scene, similar to how we're seeing Boomerang and Tarantula in this show or in this trailer. Like you mentioned before, I don't think that those, like at least Boomerang and Tarantula, are going to be main level characters. I think they're just going to be throwaway characters, just for the nerds and us to be able to see. I thought Frank Castle was also going to kind of be that, but then we also see him again in another scene in this trailer, which indicates to me that he's going to be more of a front seat sort of character. I think as long as you've seen season 1 of The Punisher, you should be good to understand this.
And the key
But it's
thing
not
is like
necessary
you don't
for the
and Marvel understands, right? Like not everybody's gonna go and watch these TV shows, so there's gonna be a way where you could still enjoy it, but obviously there's so much more to it. If you want to watch the shows, there's just better content out there to have you develop sort of emotion with these characters. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
But it's still gonna check all the boxes. If you've never seen it, you could still enjoy the movie. I know we as MCU fans take in all the content, even the TV shows, even the terrible TV shows. We still watch because you're like, you know what? I've already watched 30 movies. I've already devoted so much time to MCU. I'm probably gonna watch it, even though it's terrible. I'm probably gonna watch it. So. But not the vast majority of people can say, hey, I watched every single TV show. I've watched the Netflix TV shows. You know what I mean?
Jessica Jones, Iron Fist.
And honestly, to tell you the truth, I've never watched Jessica Jones or Iron Fist. So, no. But I still enjoy it. You know what I mean? So you're still going to enjoy it. It's just if you want much more depth to those characters, then definitely watch Daredevil and The Punisher.
Absolutely.
I think if this movie is, that's fair to say 8, but because of how highly anticipated it is and them thinking that it is going to break the box office this year, I can't be anything less than a 9.
A 9.
Like, think about how excited people are for this movie, how many villains you are bringing in. Now everybody enjoys that it's more of a street level Spider-Man, right? What he is supposed to be, right? He's not Iron Man Jr. anymore. It's literally him being Spider-Man, nobody there to help but his suit. Now he has to figure out how to fight people every day. I feel like that's another thing too that's kind of cool is like, hey, why is he mutating now? I feel like it might be cool that might be a little throwaway, but it's like, hey, he doesn't have anybody to help. He doesn't have his guy in the chair. He's all alone. And there's all these forces that are against him.
Stressors.
Yeah, now this is kind of enhancing him to now, oh, hey, now I got to become stronger. You know what I mean? So now it's got more of a Spider-Man feel to it.
That's interesting. I thought for sure that Jean Grey would have a role in that.
It could
that
be. I could be wrong.
perhaps-
Yeah. She could have done something to him, fighting him or whatever, and then it enhances this because even when he's saying in the trailer, it says that spiders have 3 cycles. That's not true. Like,
That's not true at all. No.
like biologically, that's not true. So it's like, okay, it's got to mean something else. You know what I mean? So I mean, I could be wrong, but I just think I just think it's pretty cool.
It seems to me like Jean Grey would have been able to do something like this. We're kind of seeing him with they joked about it in No Way Home. Like, what is that? Oh, that's my web shooter. It's like, what's that? It's like, it helps me shoot webs. You don't have one, and Tobey Maguire
Straight out of skin.
It's like, oh, that is so gross.
Yeah.
But we're kind of seeing that with him. I don't know. I always thought that was. What are your thoughts on that? The fact that Tobey Maguire can shoot out of his hands, but Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland up to this point,
especially with Spider-Man 1, it didn't have to be like canonically correct to the comics for people to enjoy, right? Because he doesn't always, he has to make the web, right? But in Tobey Maguire's case, he didn't have to make it. It already happened. So I guess it implies like, oh, what did he go through where he got it initially, but Tom Holland didn't? You know what I mean? He had to go through 3 movies and then everybody forget him in order for him to finally get it out of his hand where he doesn't have to make the web fluids now. Now Andrew Garfield's the only one now that has to make web fluid.
I mean, that's just, it's talking about mutations. There's talking about mutations a lot with this, and that's how mutations happen. It's due to stressors. The body will will
I think
mutate.
that's more so of what it is, and definitely could be something with Gene doing something to him that enhances that or turns that switch on for him. I'm so excited for the movie, man. I don't think that this is the number one movie that I am excited for the most.
Do you think he's going to be alone the entire movie? It seems to me like we're seeing a couple of scenes right here where they're kind of like like you mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, like how they're searching for Spider-Man. You know,
Well, I think it's her searching because that's her challenge, right? That she's always. She even told him like, I figured it out. I can do it again.
Who does she think gave her the Dahlia?
I don't know,
Because we
I have
sort
no
of see
idea.
scenes with her wearing that.
Yeah,
You know,
it's the exact
And if
same
everybody
broken
forgot about
Dahlia.
Peter Parker, then I don't know how they're going to explain that.
I think everybody knows who Spider-Man is, right? Especially too, maybe in the beginning of the movie, Ned and Zendaya they forgot that Peter Parker exists. They still know they were there at the Statue of Liberty with Spider-Man. You know what I mean? They don't just wake up in the bed the next day and figured like, oh man, what was I doing or how did I get here? They knew they were at the Statue of Liberty. They knew a fight just went down.
That's fair.
So it's still stuff that I feel like it's like there's something missing in something is there, but it's gone now. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably for both of them. I think that's why she still wears the
Dahlia.
broken necklace right there. And she's actively searching for him on the walls. And it's crazy enough is he's a neighbor.
Yeah.
He lives right in front. Yeah. So it's kind of like.
And she's no dummy. I mean, she can.
No, she's
she can
incredibly
tell when people are
smart.
lying.
She got into MIT.
Yeah.
No, I don't ever think anybody would say she's a dummy. I mean, I'm so excited for the movie. I think it's going to be really good. I think it's going to be, everything that the trailer is showing us, they're showing us so many different villains. He's clearly not going to fight them all at once. I think some of those are flashbacks in those 4 years. And then we're going to get to the final arc at the end where I think that will be more of Jean Grey involved. I don't think she's involved too much.
Of a presence do you think Scorpion is going to have if we're correct on the fact that Jean Grey is going to be the main focus of this?
Maybe a little bit.
movie?
Like I wouldn't be surprised if he's in there for one fight, two. But I don't think.
First and second act max.
Total runtime of Scorpion. I think we'll get like total screen time. I don't see anything more than like 15 minutes. I don't really see him being on there a lot. I don't think it's gonna be. I think everybody's gonna get their fair share of minutes, and I don't think that. Like I think Tarantula, Boomerang. I think they're like 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
I'm thinking like 5 seconds. Honestly,
Yeah.
We saw that in Fantastic Four, where they were fighting some of their known villains from the comics.
From the past. Yeah, I think that's kind of going to be the same vibe with this one. I think you'll get maybe 5 minutes here, maybe 5 minutes here. I think the hand's going to be a little bit more involved.
The thing is, John Malkovich was meant to have more of a presence in Fantastic Four. They had whole scenes, whole dialogue, and all that stuff, and then they cut it all out to
completely.
just one scene. Could they be doing a similar thing with some of these here?
Yeah, it'd probably be like Boomerang and Tarantula.
Where they're
I think it'll just be a flashback or show a little thing of, hey, these are the villains I fought. Kind of like the monologue, Peter B. Parker, how they all go into, okay, so I'm Spider-Man, and for 4 years I've been fighting, and then it just shows you kind of that thing. So I think that's kind of what
hear
I
you're
get.
saying with that, but with Tarantula and Boomerang, we're only seeing them once within this entire trailer. But with the hand, we're seeing them, what, 2-3 times in this entire trailer?
The hand's going to be much more involved than Boomerang. And I think if you're going into there like, man, I can't wait to see Boomerang and Tarantula, I mean, you're only going to see it a couple seconds and they're gone.
They're not even going to explain the fact that Boomerang used to be a baseball player.
No, they're not going to go. They're not going to go into anything. They're not going to go into any of that. All in all, after watching the trailer, I have to say this movie's got to be at least a 9.5. But we could be wrong, right? But it's just, so far this feels like Spider-Man finally with Tom Holland, and that's kind of the problem too of what a lot of people didn't like about Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home is they always said he's Iron Man Jr. He's not really Spider-Man. He's got Tony Stark to make all the suits for him. It's not really him. You know what I mean? It's not ground level. Dude's fighting in space. Like, that's not Spider-Man. Now we have Spider-Man ground level, no one helping, and it's just him fighting all of them. So it's perfect. I love it. I'm so excited. This is going to be, I think, I want to say a top 3 movie of the year, but man, I feel like people are forgetting, like, Doomsday is going to come out, right? Maybe the lead up to Doomsday hasn't been quite as we wanted. You're still going to watch it.
The thing is, at worst, this movie might be like a
fourth.
7. A 7
Oh,
at
wait,
worst.
yeah.
But with something like Doomsday, you know, they could be too big to fail. Or they're not too big to fail. There could be so much stuff that's going on that is like, that's not what I wanted. I hated that movie for whatever reason. People might be like, I hated that movie. It's a 3 to me.
Yeah, well, there's not a lot
risk of it being that low.
There's not a great build up to Doomsday because this was the last second pull because of Jonathan Majors thing, right? So there hasn't really been a build up to Doctor Doom, right? The only time you finally felt like it could really happen is Fantastic Four, right? Because prior to that, they've never mentioned Von Doom once in the MCU. So the buildup hasn't been quite what we expected. And then when you compare it to Thanos and Infinity War and Endgame, they talked about it in Avengers, the very first Avengers at the end credit. So this has been a buildup this entire time for Thanos, and it was perfect, right? So, but that's not the same thing with Doctor Doom. I have a question. I'm curious as to what you think. Do you think it is more likely that Spider-Man is the best movie of 2025, or do you think it's like, or 2026, I apologize, or do you think it's not even top 5 of 2026? Because if you think about it, Doomsday's coming out, Dune 3 is coming out, The Odyssey is coming out, Super Mario is coming out. There's so much good stuff. Do you think it's easier you could see a path, Spider-Man being the best movie, or it might not even be top 3, let alone, let's just not say top 5. What about top 3?
I think it'll certainly be top 3.
You think this one's absolutely, you don't see a world in which this movie is not as good as The Odyssey?
Yeah. I think more people will show up to see. It'll be more successful, I believe. I think this will be more successful than Odyssey purely based off of recognition
of Spider-Man.
It's been sort of a built-up sort of thing for years,
as well as Doomsday.
Fresh.
So do you think this can make you see this? You see Brand New Day making more money than Doomsday?
Yeah, maybe.
You think so?
Because I think the reason why is because I feel like there's going to be a lot of people out there who, like, you already know, there's a lot of people who say that, yeah, I stopped watching after Endgame. You know, that was the end of the MCU for me. All the movies and TV shows were just, terrible.
Yeah, that's
afterwards.
stupid.
I agree. That's kind of dumb. I enjoy all of them to a degree. I agree with them in the fact that they're not as amazing as like the first couple of phases. But I haven't given up hope.
But even then, like, if you were out there and you said, "Oh, everything after Endgame is terrible," and you're like, "Well, after Endgame came No Way Home, came Thunderbolts," like, and I know I'm only mentioning 2 in the grand scheme of things, but Endgame just came out 2019, 2020. So there's like 2019 or 2020. So there's still good stuff. Loki, I love the Loki TV show. So there's still some good stuff there. You're just ready to like throw it all out. Guardians Volume 3, like, there's so much good stuff. You know what I mean? Don't just give up on Marvel just because Endgame came and gone and now everything else is whack compared to Endgame.
I as a nerd, I definitely do agree with you. I'm gonna be watching all of it, regardless of whether
Yeah,
or not
absolutely.
I'm excited for the character.
We watched
or
Secret
not.
Invasion.
Yeah, for crying out loud.
Oh my
You know,
God.
as awful as that one was,
She-Hulk.
as that show
Yeah, I
was.
get
I
it.
watched She-Hulk. I forced myself to watch She-Hulk, as terrible as that was.
I did too.
Just so I didn't miss out on any
I
sort
didn't
of
force
Easter eggs for the
myself to
future.
watch Miss Marvel. I thought that one was really good.
I forced myself to watch Miss Marvel.
You're just a hater.
Yeah.
It was not bad.
It was terrible. Either way, so the reason why I bring that up is because I feel like in regards to Doomsday, the fact that there was a pivot, because we were supposed to have Kang Dynasty that was, I think, already supposed to be out at this point in time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we would have already had that to go off of, but then because, oh my gosh, ruin an entire,
Yeah, I get it.
but because they dropped Jonathan Majors, they had to pivot. They ended up pulling out Doom. There's gonna be some people who I don't think they're being unfair, but they're gonna see that and be like, "This is you're pulling at strings that should be pulled at. I'm done. You guys are terrible. You guys have capped out all your intellectual entertainment ability. So I'm done." I think there's gonna be a lot of people that are like that, but I feel like those same people are gonna still be drawn towards something like Spider-Man because they haven't messed up Spider-Man yet. They have not messed up Spider-Man
In
yet.
terms of like movies, you don't think they messed up Spider-Man?
No, every movie's been
Every
good.
Spider-Man movie has been good.
It's been poor. Third Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie was poorly received. I liked it.
Spider-Man 3
Yeah,
is terrible.
of Tobey Maguire.
I'll never watch it again.
But I think it's still good.
Okay, what do you think about TASM? TASM and TASM
Amazing.
2.
I love them all.
Both of them?
How sad was it when you see
Gwen
Stacy?
That was tough.
That hand, the
the web hand trying to catch her.
reach.
If he just would have kept his promise to Captain Stacy, that wouldn't have happened.
I bet he beats himself up every single
Oh
day
yeah,
for that.
after she died, he's definitely blaming himself because he told him, "Promise me you'll stay away from her," and he said, "Yes, I will." And then she knew at the end and said, "He made you promise, didn't he?" And he's there, he's there. He didn't go to the funeral, and then he sits behind her at the desk, and he tells the teacher, "Oh, I promise I won't be late." She was like, "Don't make promises you can't keep," and he's like, "But those are the best kind." That was so whack. Like for that to be like her smile, and then that's just So he's blaming himself 100%. That scene is very emotional in the. I don't think it's the most emotional movie, most emotional scene in the Spider-Man movies, but it's definitely up there.
What beats it?
You think that is the most emotional scene?
What scene in any of the Spider-Man movies beats the emotional pull? That was meant to be the most emotional. He lost Gwen Stacy.
No, that's tough. I
it sucks
admit.
that Ben dies. It sucks that Aunt May dies. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I may have scoffed at the fact that with great power comes great responsibility, but it still sucked that May died.
Yeah, tell me you didn't cry when May died.
Of course, it was terrible. That's the last family he's got. That's awful.
It is, and he still chooses to put on a mask while he's the greatest superhero. But no, I think,
But
and
at the same
honestly,
time,
even
Gwen
if it's
Stacy
not
dying is
meant,
terrible.
even if it's not meant to make you feel sad, Spider-Man 2, the train scene is by far my favorite live action scene. Emotional.
When he's pulling, like the
That was
train.
amazing, dude. And it's because he's not Superman. It's not as lame as, let me just grab this train and fly up and we're all safe. He's got to figure out, how do I save 100 people in this train with just webs?
He's not as powerful as Superman. What can I say?
It doesn't matter,
Superman's a superhero because he can save more people.
No, that's so whack, and that's a lame pull. And in this case, Spider-Man's like, okay, what can I do to save all these people, right? So then he does it. The first time, it doesn't work. So he's like, okay. They're like, you got any other ideas? He's like, I got a few. And then he does it a lot, right? And then he's holding it, and you see he's giving it his all. There's nothing else. There's no other plan I have. This is it. So once he's going, you see his brute strength that he has, right? He's not Superman level strength. He's not like all this crazy strength, but he is way stronger than your average human. Way stronger. But on the same level as other superheroes, he's not their strength, right? So he's going, he's holding the entire train. You see him giving it his all. Anyways, it slows down at the end and he's still holding just to make sure there's nothing left. And as soon as he stops the train, there is no energy left in his body.
All the gas gone.
And he's about to fall, and all the citizens' hands just grab his suit. So symbolic, right? That they zoomed in on the Spider-Man symbol, and every citizen there is grabbing on one to protect their protector, right? But at the same time, is that it's greatness, and everybody wants to touch greatness, right? So they grab him, bro. When they lift him up, and it is so beautiful. And if you think about it, the train is hanging off. More weight is over here. But the only person they cared to carry away from danger was their protector. So they're carrying him back, just the symbolism of them lifting him and elevating him above everybody else when all he sees is everybody else above him, right? Like Spider-Man doesn't think of himself as higher than everybody else. He'll lay down his life for the little guy, right? So them taking him out of danger, laying him down, and looking at him, everybody gathers around and sees him, and they're all there. And the dad says, he's just a kid. He's no older than my son. And then that's when people are realizing, like, the dude that's virtually like on the brink of killing himself all the time, not even maybe just physically, but mentally exhausting himself, is a kid choosing to put on this mask every single day and fight for us. And then when he comes to, he touches his face because he's like, oh man, dude, where's my mask? And what does he see? He sees everybody around him looking at his mask. And then the kids come, give him his mask, and says, we won't tell anyone. The music that's playing, oh, dude, not only did I get goosebumps, my eyes get watery every single time on that scene. It is so beautiful. It didn't have to be somebody dying. All it meant was that they realized that their protector is not an adult, ideal person that's donning the mask. It is a kid that chooses to give everything he has, even if it means he's gonna die, just to protect them. That is by far the best and most emotional scene in all of live action Spider-Man. And it's not even close. I think that scene emotionally leaves more of an impact on me than Gwen Stacy.
Wow.
And Spider-Man 2, I like to add, is the best live action Spider-Man movie of all time.
Yeah, I would definitely say that Spider-Man 2 is the best movie of all the Spider-Man movies. Yeah, I would. Yeah, no, hands down, hands down.
Live action.
I was trying to incorporate your favorite Spider-Man movie with Miles Morales.
Wait. You think Spider-Man 2 is better than Into the Spider-Verse?
I do.
And Across the Spider-Verse?
I do. I'm not saying. I honestly find more entertainment from Into and Across the Spider-Verse. But in regards to who Spider-Man actually is, we do see a little more of that with Spider-Man 2. The villain is obviously a little more recognizable, a lot more entertaining in Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2, than the villain than any of the villains in Into and Across.
Wait. Doc Ock, right? Because that's who you're referring to.
Mm-hmm.
You think is more entertaining than Miguel Ojeda?
Yeah, I do. I think they kind of pulled Miguel. I'm not saying I hate Miguel.
I don't think you said you hate him.
They pulled him, and the fact that they're trying their absolute best to make sure that he has his family member die, so that canon can be canon. That's it's a bit of a pull. It's kind of hard to wrap my head around. Don't entirely like that. With that, you do get one of the coolest scenes in all of Spider-Man, which, in my opinion, is going to be Across the Spider-Verse with
on the train.
Well, when
I'm gonna do my own thing.
Yeah.
That is by far the best Spider-Man moment of any movie.
I love it. Nah. I'm gonna do my own thing. That's cool.
What
That's
an
cool.
East Coast thing to say for him.
Absolutely.
Honestly, I want to touch back on this real quick. Doc Ock, live action, great, right? You love it, and I think it's really good, right? I think the character is so complex. He's so hurt, right? It's not even his fault. It busted. They take control of him, right? His wife just died. It's tragic. Miguel Ojeda lost his family, went to go to another world to get his family in a world where he doesn't exist. And not only once he did that, he destroyed that entire world, right? So now he dedicated his whole life to preventing things like that from happening. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is so complex, and it makes it the greatest Spider-Man movie in my opinion. The animation of Across the Spider-Verse is second to none. Like, I think the thing that comes closest to that animation is maybe like Puss in Boots, right? Like, but seriously, like in an animation movie, Across the Spider-Verse is amazing. Emotionally, it is so deep where you see that, you know, Peter Parker is different from Miles Morales, but Miles Morales goes through the same things, right? He's trying to balance school. He's trying to balance personal life, being Spider-Man. It's so tough to do all those things, right? And it's just such a beautiful movie of what he's trying to challenge, right? Challenge expectation of everybody, always him having to just do what everybody else wants him to do, right? Or him falling into line. And that's not what he's gonna do. You would let your dad die? Would you choose to stay in a universe and just say, okay, you know what? But because this algorithm, and he even says it in the movie, tells you that my dad has to die, then I guess we gotta follow it. So would you allow your dad to die if an AI algorithm told you, hey, your dad has to die in order for your world to live?
That's a strong philosophical question, and dude, my dad watches this, so
Yeah, so
no, I don't know, man.
even
Like,
if your
that's-
dad
we're
didn't
talking-
watch this, why would you let your dad die?
I get it, but what I mean, are we really gonna sit here and say Miguel was incorrect? I mean, we're putting his family over an entire universe.
That's the movie. That's why the movie is so amazing, because you could put yourself in his shoe and say, you know what, I
could tell you this right now: if the role was reversed and my dad or even you had to choose between saving my life or the universe,
He tells them,
save the universe. Like
no,
kill me.
Miguel,
We're good.
Miguel even tells them you have the power to save one life or save an entire world. But it's like, why is that the only outcome? Like, there's no other way. So just because you say, hey, this is the only way, then I'm like, okay, you know what? That's the only way. I'm gonna try. That movie is so amazing just based off of like everything you feel emotionally from it. You know what I mean? The music is great. Metro cooked with
oh my goodness gracious,
with
you're
that
absolutely
music.
right on that one.
So I think the music is amazing, dude. I live and breathe Spider-Verse, bro.
Yeah.
It is by far the best Spider-Man
is
movie.
Certainly not my intention to sit here and say that Into or Across the Spider-Verse is a bad Spider-Man movie. But the reason why we brought this up was because I believed that Spider-Man 2 was the best Spider-Man movie
It's not.
that we've had so far.
It's not. And you're including animation.
Yeah.
It's not even close. I think Across the Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man movie if we're including animation and live action. Across the Spider-Verse is the greatest Spider-Man movie you could ever watch. Even though it's not Peter Parker, that's fine. Miles Morales is an amazing character. That is number one. Number two is Into the Spider-Verse, right? I love both of those movies. Both of those movies are amazing. I want to say this right now. If y'all mess it up and cast somebody that is not Afro-Latino, you're going to piss me off.
Oh, absolutely.
I heard so many people say, oh yeah, let's film Caleb or some of these other people to be a live action Miles Morales.
Caleb from
From Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, okay.
And they're like, yeah, just do him. And then you're like, wait, he's not Afro-Latino. And they're like, oh, you know, it doesn't matter. And it's like, it doesn't matter to you because you're not Hispanic. Don't take our heroes.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? He's so, his mother, Rio, his mom, right? They speak Spanish. There's no way you can just say to throw out an entire culture because it's not. Yeah. Keep looking.
You care about representation, then certainly with this, for the goodness sake, do it right.
Yeah,
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah,
Let's not forget the Hispanic heritage of this person.
Yeah, all we got is Blue Beetle and Zorro.
How disrespectful would it be to do? No shade thrown at Caleb, by the way, but how disrespectful would it be for them to cast somebody like Caleb, and the most that they do to represent his Hispanic heritage was to say like one throwaway his Spanish
Yeah,
name.
he just says "Hola, mama."
Yeah,
and it's like no,
and the rest of the time is just like
go more into it.
Yeah,
like even in Across the Spider-Verse. And Into the Spider-Verse, Across Spider-Verse, he's speaking Spanish to his mom. Even when they go onto the rooftop scene of the party, they're playing cumbia, like it's the Spanish culture at large there. You know what I mean? So I love the cultures coming together. Being on East Coast, right? There's so many. There's a huge Hispanic culture even on the East Coast, right? So all together, I love it. The movie's just so amazing. Don't mess it up. But I don't think any other Spider-Man movie comes close. And you could say, you know what, they're not as limited in animation because live action,
You know that's an argument to be had.
you're limited, right? That's the same reason of why I'll say like some of the best storylines I could ever watch are anime, right? But they're not exactly. It's not the same. It's not apples to apples because movies have to work with so much other stuff, and they're limited based on what we can realistically put on screen that is enjoyable
Yeah, well,
to
something
consume.
like Across and Into the Spider-Verse, you can show
So
the
much.
destruction of an entire city.
Yeah.
You know,
Or world.
whereas with live action, most of the time you're only going to be able to imply
Mm-hmm.
said destruction, and maybe if you have a huge budget, you might be able to destroy a small scale sort of replication.
What would you rate Into the Spider-Verse on a scale of 1 to 10?
9.2.
9.2. So 92% Brandon would give on Rotten Tomatoes for Into the Spider-Verse. What about Across the Spider-Verse? What would you rate Across the Spider-Verse?
Ironically, despite the fact that it wasn't the first one, I do enjoy it better.
Okay, that's fine. So
That's
what would
just
you
me.
what would you
But
say?
I would sit here and put that one as 9.3.
9.2, 9.3. If Beyond the Spider-Verse is anything between a 9.3 to 10, can we sit here and talk about it being one of the greatest trilogies of all
Spider-Man
time?
trilogies, absolutely. Yeah, I think at that
No,
point,
no, no. Take Spider-Man trilogies out of it. Could this entire trilogy of Into, Across, and Beyond be one of the best movie trilogies of all time?
Yeah, that's so bold to say.
How?
I never thought about it till right now. But that truly is it's a bold statement. But I think that would definitionally be factual.
And I hate this pull of
Because it's not just Spider-Man that
Yeah.
we're sort of seeing, as you mentioned before, we are seeing amazing music back to back to back. Sunflower from Into and Self Love from Across the Spider-Verse.
yeah, they're great. The soundtrack is
I've been
great.
listening to the movie came out years ago, and I'm still listening to Self Love. Love it.
Yeah.
But so we're getting great music on. Let's assume that the trend continues with the third
Yeah,
one.
absolutely.
Then we're getting great music with all three trilogies. We're getting great cinematography with all three trilogies.
The animation is second to none.
Animation's exactly second to none. That they're putting their heart and soul into every frame of this movie, of this trilogy. And in addition, you're also getting good, what am I trying to say? Kind of like what's the thing that Spider-Man Ben says to Spider-Man all the time?
With great power comes great responsibility.
Like quotes that you can sort of like live by. What's the main problem of Across the Spider-Verse, like you mentioned before with Miguel? That's something that you can utilize for your own sort of life.
Yeah,
I believe.
absolutely.
So if we can have that impact that people can have with their own personal lives from each and every one of these individual movies, I do, as bold as it is to say, I would have to put it up there with like something like Lord of the Rings, like the original Star Wars trilogy, and so on and so forth. I mean, there's great trilogies out there, and that would have to be up there with them.
And what is the biggest shame of all this is when people say, no, but it's animation. You got to keep that separate from live action, right? So when we talk about the best movies, you can't say, like, I've had arguments where I've told people, okay, let's talk about the best superhero movies. And I'll mention Across the Spider-Verse, and they're like, no, that's animation. You can't do it. You have to. We're not going to discredit Into, Across, and Beyond because it's cartoon, it's animation. We can't put it up there with the original Spider-Man trilogy or Andrew Garfield or Tom Holland. This throw that away. Imagine you go through your whole life saying you're not gonna watch it because, oh, it's animated. You know what I mean? It's just for kids. It's like, no, it is not just for kids. Watching Across the Spider-Verse and Into the Spider-Verse, my son loves it. He'll watch in there with me every time. He truly doesn't understand the storyline the way I am. You know what I mean? It's a movie that every target audience, whether you're 5 years old, you could watch that movie off of the art alone. And if you are 45 years old, you can watch the movie because the storyline is excellent. It's just a movie for everybody. And we have to talk about it. It could be one of the greatest trilogies of all time. And I'd only say, I don't care. I stand by it. Godfather 1 and 2, really good. Godfather 3, terrible.
Agreed.
If Beyond the Spider-Verse is as good as the other two have been, it passes The Godfather. The only thing I'd be tough to say is Scarface. I mean, not Scarface, I apologize. Lord of the Rings. It'd be really tough. And
What it needs to really get that oomph is the cultural significance. Do you believe so far with Into and Across the Spider-Verse that it's had enough of a cultural significance in people's minds that it can stand the test of time,
well, the
like
only
Star
thing
Wars and Lord of the Rings?
the only thing that's tough is I wouldn't be able to answer that question in 2026. I'd be able to answer that question in 2040 because when Star Wars came out, it took everybody by storm, but you finally see what it did to your culture 40, 50 years later. You know what I mean? Same thing as Harry Potter. You see what Harry Potter did 40, well, not 40. It came out in 2000. So 20 years later, you see the impact it had on us. I wouldn't be able to tell you that until another 20, 30 years. But as for the content alone,
I think I disagree with that. During Harry Potter, as it was coming out, I knew how much of an impact it was having. During Twilight, the Twilight Saga, when it was coming out, Breaking Dawn, and
well,
you
that
get
had
the last
so
two,
much.
part
Twilight
one and
had
two,
so much more content because of the books.
you know the significance that it's having right there and then. I wasn't really old enough and as cognizant enough about movies during Lord of the Rings, but I guarantee you that if I was, then as Two Towers was coming out, I would have said this is having a humongous effect.
Okay.
We're gonna be talking about this 25 years into the future.
So you know what I'm noticing now that everything that you're saying and it makes sense. What I think is very clear to me right now is that maybe because it's animation, because if I think about animated movies that are meant for kids, right? Because everybody says, what movie is an animated movie meant for kids? Because that's what they say. Across Spider-Verse is culturally impacted everybody. Because what you're referring to is Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Harry Potter, right? But that's all live action. That adults don't just go and deem, oh, this is kid content. Not really gonna watch it. Because you can still as an adult watch it. Harry Potter, or any one of those other ones, and still enjoy it. You get what I'm saying? But this notion of Across the Spider-Verse is a kid movie. There's a lot of family members that I have that over the age of 35 that are like, no, I'm not gonna watch that. And it's like, then you're not really giving it a fair chance to be culturally impactful. I think when you look at animated movies in the future, you could definitely say, hey, Across the Spider-Verse or Into the Spider-Verse might be one of those pivoting moments where you're like, hey, what can we really do with animated movies? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not just for kids. There's so much stuff we can do. I don't think you would have gotten Puss in Boots and the animation from that without Into the Spider-Verse. Same thing as K-pop. You wouldn't have K-pop Demon Hunters without Into the Spider-Verse because that's where those creators
that type of animation.
it came because those are the creators. You know what I mean? So you got all that from Into the Spider-Verse. I just think it's not fair to say culturally impactful because what animated movie would you say right now?
K-pop.
Culture, yeah. I mean,
That's going to be it's easy when you have music. Music is a driving factor when it comes to cultural significance, and we already kind of have I'm not.
Sunflower, I think, is the number one Into or Across song. Sunflower with Posty.
But by the numbers, it's the most streamed, most it's done better than all the other songs that have come out Into and Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I think Sunflower's probably. It's not my favorite. My favorite is
it's your daughter's song, is it not?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I got Sunflower. Yeah, Self Love is my favorite Spider-Man song, right? But man, Sunflower took the world by storm, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
The world, I think maybe perhaps. No, do you think Into and Across was global significance?
I mean, it's
K-pop
more
definitely was, especially in Asia.
I mean,
certainly
yeah, but
in
if you think
America.
about it, it's K-pop. You know what I mean? Like it transcends much more than just their border. It goes everywhere. And on top of that, man, I hate to say it, but like Golden, that song is so good that it just completely catapulted that movie. The only thing that kind of it's gonna make me it's gonna make my eye twitch is that 30 years from now, that they might say K-pop Demon Hunters is better than Across the Spider-Verse. And it's going to make me so mad. I'm going to feel like all the dads when they hear someone say LeBron is better than Jordan, and they're like, that's going to be me. Because I think like people will say, like I can talk to people right now, or probably kids, right? Because that's who's watching K-pop. And they'll probably sit there 10 years from now and say, no, K-pop is better than Across the Spider-Verse. And I'd want to faint out of, cause you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't even think they're close, but I can appreciate that you got Demon Hunters because you got Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse.
You know what?
It's just not fair to
As
say
of right
culturally
now,
impactful.
I would have to say that it hasn't really reached the level of cultural significance needed for it to be considered one of the best trilogies of all time, up there in conversation with all the ones we just mentioned yet.
Even if you said part 3 even is like a 9.5, you don't think it'll?
I think that's what I'm saying. So I think once the trailer finally drops for
Forever, yeah,
for
Beyond
beyond the
Spider-Verse,
yeah, then I think at that point that might get the fire going again in people's eyes and people's hearts. And then if the movie does succeed, hopefully 9.5, then I think at that point it'll be in the conversation and people start to say like, hey, you know what, Into, Across, and Beyond, some of the best one of the best trilogies of all time.
Did the fire go out?
I think so, man. It's been too long.
Did the fire go out for Across the Spider-Verse? Y'all think so? I don't think at all.
Either people are still, other than nerds.
Look at my eyes. You see a flame? It hasn't gone out. That's Across the Spider-Verse.
It's been delayed 3 times, and we were still excited for it.
But
It's
we
soft when it got delayed the same.
100%.
we are excited for it. We are nerds here in this. I'm sure in the depths of YouTube, people are still excited for it. But I don't think that people are still excited for it from a common man.
I would challenge that. I think so many people are excited for Across the Spider. I think just as excited as you are for GTA is how excited some people are.
No way.
For Across the Spider-Verse?
Absolutely not. GTA is going to be some of the
Solo opening week.
GTA will. It'll solo opening weekend, but I don't think that
You're not as excited for Across the Spider-Verse, Beyond the Spider-Verse, I'm sorry, as you are for GTA.
No. Why would that even come to your mind? What?
Am I alone on this island?
I don't care for GTA, but Across the Spider-Verse, I'm super down.
Well, I'm not like sitting here saying that GTA is the greatest video game of all time. I'm not.
It probably
right?
is.
But goodness gracious, man! I mean, that's like a significant thing in so many people's childhoods. Like with the cheat codes people had in the in their DVD. I mean, like over here.
Yeah.
That's nostalgia right there. You don't have the same level of nostalgia. Stop. You don't have the same level of nostalgia for Into and Across the Spider-Verse.
I do.
With respect that I have for it, as you do the video game Grand Theft Auto. That's not a thing.
I do. I am more excited if somebody came to me and said, "Hey, we could only give the world GTA or Beyond the Spider-Verse. Which one are you want?" Give me Beyond the Spider-Verse.
No, chill, man.
100%.
It is rare for you to know.
Beyond the Spider-Verse is going to be. It will complete the trilogy to be one of the best trilogies of all time. And the only thing that I will 100% listen to for being a better trilogy, Lord of the Rings. If anybody told me A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Last Jedi, that trilogy is better than
You say Last Jedi?
sorry, not Last Jedi. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they never made a Star Wars called The Last Jedi. I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. I apologize. Yeah, you tell me those 3 versus Beyond the Spider-Verse. If it's as good as I think it's gonna be, it'll pass. It'll pass that. And I'm not arguing culturally impactful and all that.
Well, that's what I was talking about. I mean, obviously GTA, even as is more culturally impactful than.
Yeah, it's been around
certainly
been around forever.
When GTA does finally drop, it will be so significant that it's going to change gaming forever afterwards.
That's fair.
And very seldom do people know when things are about to change. They usually look back like, oh shoot, this movie, this video game, this thing changed movies, TV shows, video games, etc. forever. We know now, before the games even drop, that it's going to change everything.
Yeah, I mean,
at least in video games.
If I put $2 billion into a video game, it better change something.
Yeah, right.
Because if it didn't, you know how many people how much stuff I could have done for the entire community for $2 billion?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you put a video game together of $2 billion, it better change something. But I don't care. Even if I'm on an island, I don't care. Beyond the Spider-Verse, I think is going to complete the trilogy of being one of the greatest of all time. And I think it would be it will be number 1 to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd even rather watch that whole trilogy over the Lord of the Rings. And I know Lord of the Rings is amazing, right? I think Beyond the Spider-Verse, if it's as good, it'll pass that.
Mm.
And I think Dune also will, but that's a whole nother story that me and you can get into.
I'm slightly skeptical, but certainly I wouldn't put it past it for sure. I mean, like I want Beyond to do well, and I think based off of the trend that we're having with the previous movies, it will.
It will.
But as of right now, I don't think people are looking at it as culturally significant. Once it drops, I hope it will ignite that fire in the masses.
Mm-hmm.
In which case, if that does happen, just for the trailer alone, similar to this,
Brand New Day.
happy we are with Brand New Day.
Yeah.
Then if like we have the same level of like love to come from Beyond as we do right now with Beyond Brand New Day, then yeah, I think at that point it would be safe to say that that trilogy will become one of the greatest trilogies of all time, and people will find it as culturally significant for their lives.
If you can get a Spider-Man movie that you've been wanting, would you choose Beyond the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire, or would you choose TASM 3 with Andrew Garfield? What would you want?
Are we talking about like right now?
Yeah. What would you want?
I'm sorry.
If a
Tobey
producer,
Maguire's done.
Okay.
Andrew Garfield. While I would have loved to have that third movie come out,
Mm-hmm.
it definitely bugs me that it never did. Certainly, I'm not going to sit here and cry about going the rest of my life without having that third movie.
there's a lot of Tobey Maguire fans that want Spider-Man 4.
What?
There's a lot of people that want
Dude, his
Spider-Man 4.
story is done. All right, he's good. He's happy. He's married to MJ. There's no need to add problems to his life.
He doesn't really say it. He even says it. You know, it's complicated, but you know, you should continue to try. So you don't really know what's going on with Tobey Maguire and Spider-Man 4, or what potentially could be happening. But people really want Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 4, and I think even from watching No Way Home, I want like what happens to Andrew Garfield Spider-Man after he loses Gwen. He even said, I stopped pulling my punches. I became rageful. I want to see that. I want to see that on TV. You know what I mean? I want to see Andrew Garfield. What does Spider-Man look like when he's not holding his punches? What does he look like when he becomes that vigilante sort of hero, right? That's what I want.
It's certainly interesting, right? One of the arguments that I constantly have with my buddy AB is he sits there and says that with like the Injustice series with Superman, we see somebody who was meant to be like super duper hopeful, super good, paragon of good, turn bad. And it's like, so he can't be as good as Spider-Man because Spider-Man never turns evil. But we see with Andrew Garfield, certainly today, as of now, maybe not. I can't think of any comic books where he's done it. Or maybe once or twice he's kind of pulled it. But by the way, he pulls his punches. He stops pulling his punches every once in a while. And with Andrew Garfield, we see that verbatim. He says it. So I think that I'm not sure if that puts him on the same level as Injustice, but
and then that's even something that I've told you too, is why I love Spider-Man. Is so many things happen to him, yet he doesn't enter into that thing
with Andrew Garfield.
But that's my point. Is like I want to see that. Like I'm curious. I understand why it would happen, right? Even Tom Holland. He started doing the same thing when Aunt May died. Once he saw
totally
Green
right.
Goblin, he stopped pulling. Like he even punched down, and you've never seen him try to punch a human before and just straight break the ground under him. And it was so beautiful. Tobey Maguire jumping in front, knowing that he's turning his back to somebody that's wanted to kill him for the longest. And he's still, knowing he's got weapons, didn't care because all he was fixated on was preventing Tom Holland from going down that dark path.
As of right now, Tobey Maguire is the only Spider-Man that's killed somebody, right? He killed the person. He didn't. Sorry, excuse me. He may not have killed the person that killed his uncle, but he certainly didn't help him when he could have. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, he tripped. He tripped and he didn't try to catch him.
Oops.
Because that was right at the window.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, he genuinely went to go kill him, and he had a moment where he could have saved him and chose not to. So, I mean, yeah, if I give you a loaded gun, but I didn't pull the trigger.
He's a murderer with no blood on his hands.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard for me to cry about a criminal that died. But
Like, well, that took Uncle Ben from us.
it's just maybe I am hyper focusing on it. I'm splitting hairs
Yeah.
because I know that there is a universe or two where Superman does go dark side and he's meant to be a paragon of good. I'm okay with that. It is what it is. It's interesting to sort of see somebody who has godlike powers. He's the most powerful he's accidentally the most powerful fictional character ever created. And to sort of see that person go dark side, it's just interesting to see. But to have the argument that AB did for me, saying that, but Spider-Man never goes dark side, no matter what happens to him, and even you trying to kind of bring it up now.
It would just be cool to see, like, that side of him that you don't ever see. And you saw it a little bit with Tom Holland with Green Goblin, but you haven't exactly seen it. That's kind of what I want to see. So if I had to choose between Beyond Spider-Verse is the movie that I would choose, right? But if I was talking more live action, yeah, give me TASM 3, right? Tobey Maguire already got 3 movies. Tom Holland got 4 movies. Andrew Garfield, I definitely think deserves a 3rd movie.
So how would that look like to you? You saying like immediately before the events of No Way Home or post events of No Way Home?
Well, I would say is before the events of No Way Home, because by the time he went into Tom Holland's world, he wasn't rageful anymore. Because he wasn't rageful anymore because he was even trying to tell him, I've been to that place. What got him out of that place, right? So there's a lot of stuff that happened to Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man along the way. I want to see it. I want to see what happened. I would love for them to do Spider-Man 3 and with TASM, right? The Amazing Spider-Man 3. Give me Eddie Brock Venom in that world with Andrew Garfield. It's Sony. They could make it happen. Tell me that wouldn't pay. You wouldn't go watch it.
It probably would. The thing that's most that would be bad for that is the fact that Andrew Garfield, I'm not going to sit here and say he looks old, but he certainly looks a lot older than he did in TASM 2. And as of today, he's probably, I haven't really focused on too many pictures
like
of him
early
now, but he probably
40s,
looks
I
a
think.
little older than he did in No Way Home. So it might be a little bit of a weird thing to look at, to sort of see him looking like he's 17, 18 years old in TASM 2, to have him looking like he's like in his 20s in No Way Home, to having him look like he's in his 30s in TASM 3, but he's supposed to be like 18 or 19.
I get it. There's just so much depth there. Even in like the deleted scene of when he sees his dad, right? And he even tells him, I had to go away. And he was like, who are?
I wanted to see that.
That's my point. Is like there's so much meat still left there for you to enjoy.
For sure. We
I
never
think
got a payoff with that. But again, like I said, even if I were to die an old man and never see TASM 3, it's hardly something that
You would miss.
I would miss.
I mean, yeah, if I had to choose, it's going to be Beyond the Spider-Verse. But I really want TASM 3. As far as we're going into Spider-Man, if I were to ask you who your favorite Spider-Man is, what would you say?
My favorite Spider-Man would probably have to be
Who are you trying to decide and stuff?
it is tough.
I think it's Andrew Garfield. I don't think it's close.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because
I think Andrew-
wouldn't say that Andrew Garfield is the greatest Peter Parker.
No,
He
I
looks way
wouldn't
too
either.
cool. I feel like I'd
Yeah.
be like, dude, let's be friends.
Yeah.
But
I'm supposed to believe that dude can't get girls. The 6'2" skater, like handsome dude.
Yeah.
Like no, he's not. He's
somebody who
not
looks
a nerd.
like a loser, which is what he is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Look, Tobey Maguire is the greatest Peter Parker.
You think
probably.
so?
Yeah. He's a loser, bro. Like
Yeah, he is a loser. I just don't see a kid when I see him.
Yeah, it's
when I
kinda
see
hard.
Tom Holland, I see a kid. When I saw Homecoming and when I saw Civil War, I saw Peter Parker. So it's just tough with Tobey Maguire because he looks like a nerd, but he doesn't play that high school kid as good as I wish he would have. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And Spider-Man 3 just left such a bad taste in my mouth based off of like what he looks like and how he chooses to do those like dumb little things that he does in Spider-Man 3 and everything like that. So it just left a bad taste in my mouth. But if I'm looking at everything, I'm looking at Tom Holland and I just see the most the perfect representation of what I would assume Peter Parker is. So I think Tom Holland might be the best Peter Parker, but the best Spider-Man I think is Andrew Garfield.
the Amazing Spider-Man,
His suit
Oh
is
no.
second to none.
Oh no, small knives.
Yeah,
My weakness.
my weakness. Yeah, it's so easy. It's so easy. Yeah, he's and even then Spider-Man's supposed to be funny, right?
Yeah.
I don't feel
goofball.
I don't think Tom Holland's Spider-Man's funny at all. I've never really laughed once.
You didn't find it quirky when he is in Civil War? Dude, you have a metal arm.
I mean, yeah, but I just see a kid that's like seeing the whole world for the first time.
Oh.
kind of thing. You know what I mean? And then you see he's a nerd. He's like, hey, do you remember that really old movie? And he's like, the kid's got an idea. He's just like, he's throwing out stuff, but it's like, I laughed with Andrew Garfield being Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
that
definitely did
is, to me, that is Spider-Man. I know everyone's going to be all like, oh, you're a 90s baby. How is Andrew Garfield Spider-Man and not Tobey Maguire? Well, I do acknowledge Tobey Maguire has the better Spider-Man movie. Man, Andrew Garfield was perfect, and his suit was amazing in it. His suit was the best live-action Spider-Man suit you
We
can have.
definitely see some cool things with the trailer in regards to Tobey Maguire.
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland's new spider suit. I've never really been a fan of his other spider suit so far with the tiny little spider.
Yeah, the
right there.
nanotech and all that. Yeah.
I would definitely agree with you that the cool. No, I disagree with you. I take it back. I'm sorry, I disagree with you. I definitely think the coolest Spider-Man costume so far has got to be Tobey Maguire's spider suit. I do. Tobey Maguire's spider suit is so cool. I really like it. Not
over
to say
Andrew
that
Garfield's
not to say that
TASM.
his is terrible.
Yeah, I don't think you're saying TASM is terrible, but you think Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man suit is better than TASM.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
nuts.
I do.
That's
I
nuts.
actually really do. And I love to see the connection between Tobey Maguire's spider suit and Tom Holland's new spider suit with the spider webs that are sort of out and about a little bit. And you do sort of see a similar color scheme to Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man suit, and that's kind of a mesh of all of them. I'd like to see it in theaters to sort of, is it cool? Do I like it? We'll see if excuse me, I keep saying it.
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland's new spider suit is better than everybody else's at the end of the movie.
Well, I'm certainly excited because now it genuinely feels like a grounded Spider-Man story, and I feel like that's what we've been missing. Out of all the Tom Holland, I feel like it checks off a lot of the boxes. It just hasn't checked off that Spider-Man feel like it has now. That's kind of the same thing of why, not to get too much into it, but just to kind of give an idea. Like, that's why I say Superman with David Cornsweet kind of like feels like Superman to me, more so than Henry Cavill's Man of Steel, because I don't think Zack Snyder really gets Superman. I don't think he really gets the DC. Not everything has to be dark and gloomy. That's kind of
I'd
what
rather Aura Farm than save this this $1 million building behind me.
Yeah, and yeah, and then when
Oh,
the
is
whole
that your Lamborghini? Well, I'll just jump over it
And then
while somebody throws it at me instead of catching it. And
the
putting it
courthouse
there.
burning and everyone's dead and,
I was like,
and Superman is just there in the flames. Yeah, that's so. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's the same feel of what I have for Tom Holland. Is now, of course, I haven't seen Brand New Day, but now it's starting to feel like, hey, this might be the Spider-Man thing, the Spider-Man feel that you've been searching for in Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home. Now you're getting it with Brand New Day. It seems that way, and I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it too. I think it'll be interesting. Oh, here. What is the best and worst thing? So let's start off with something bad and end off with something good, right? What is the worst thing they can do with this movie in your mind?
Brand New Day.
Yeah, that can make it. I don't think it'll ever be low. The worst case scenario, I think, is going to be a 7. Worst. But obviously, if they midway through decide to completely stop, I don't know, if they stop doing a Spider-Man movie and start doing like an X-Men origin movie, that'd be kind of dumb. I'd hate that personally. Focus too much on X-Men and lose focus on Spider-Man, despite all the.
I would just hate if it's not grounded, because that's what everybody's wants now. Wants more grounded Spider-Man. So I think if this gets into like a whole multiversal thing again, I wouldn't like it. If it has to do with like, hey, him having to step into the whole mutant world kind of thing, I don't like it. If they make Spider-Man a mutant, I wouldn't like it.
Oh my gosh, what in the world, bro? Like, we've talked about this, you know? Like, he is not a mutant in the comics.
And
they make sure of that. He does help and work with other mutants. Other mutants look at him like, are you a mutant? He's like, no, I'm not a mutant. He's not a mutant, so don't make him a mutant.
If they do that, I would absolutely hate it. I would hate it.
If anything, that's a good thing. He's a bridge between people who hate mutants and the rest of the world. You know, like, people who hate mutants, he's over here, very, very similar to both. He's like, I like you guys.
I will tell you what is the worst thing, I think, right? I'm going to give something in between, too. It's not something that I think is the best outcome, but something that I want. I want him to move on from MJ.
Gwen Stacy?
I want him to go to Gwen Stacy now.
They're not gonna do that.
I want him to move on from MJ because that chapter I feel was like he chose to walk away from her, and instead of telling her, reading her the letter, it's 4 years later now. You know what I mean?
Obviously, he's not gonna do that though. With the trailer alone starts showing.
I get it. I'm
his
telling you what I
regret for that
want. I
decision.
want Gwen Stacy in Tom Holland's Spider-Man life. That's what I want. I think it'd be cool.
I think so far, even with Zendaya's MJ, so far in regards to love interests, I think the dynamic between Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker and Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy is the most realistic, and I love it. I'm like, yes, I enjoy that. I don't enjoy Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man, and MJ, and I don't dislike Zendaya, and I think it was very interesting to make her Zendaya.
I think
it threw me off a little bit. Like, oh shoot, that's MJ. There's no redhead, but I'm fine with it. I'm not against it at all. Zendaya's a great actress, so I like them, especially since they're married in real life.
I was gonna say
there is a dynamic there.
Yeah, there's no way.
Still like Emma Stone.
That's incorrect. There's no way Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone have better chemistry than a wife and a husband. Like what? And even then, they were even before. You can't tell me feelings weren't developed either at a Homecoming or No Way Home, but they were there already. So there's no way you can convince me that the dynamic between these people were so much better than wife and husband. Now that scene on No Way Home of her crying and saying, "I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Can we think of anything else?" And he's like, "There's nothing else." And he's telling her, like, I promise I'm going to come find you. And I'll explain everything. And he's about to tell her, I love you. And she's like, don't, just tell me when you see. And they kiss. Bro, that was real. Like, that was real emotion of her trying to put herself in the idea of like, man, what if I forgot the man I love? And him, like, what if the woman I love forgot me? That scene, the sun slipping in, them kissing, like there's no better chemistry on screen than Spider-Man and his love interest than that scene in all of Spider-Man movies. It doesn't get better than that.
I can definitely respect it.
Absolutely.
But I have found more enjoyment in the romance between in TASM than I have in the
it's just because she
home
dies.
series.
You have much more of appreciation for it because she dies.
No, I don't think
it's
so.
Tough.
I disagree with that because I remember watching TASM 1 before TASM 2 even came out, and I'm like, I like the chemistry here.
I think it's good chemistry. I think it's way better than Tobey Maguire and Kristen. What's her last name?
Stewart? Stewart?
No, that's not her.
What am I thinking of?
Whatever her name is. I think their chemistry is the last chemistry in all of Spider-Man. I would put Tom Holland and Zendaya because he ended up marrying her. Like that doesn't get
Kristen Dunst.
Yeah. I don't think he gets better chemistry than the woman I'm in love with and I actually married in real life. So what are you going to say? Their chemistry is made up? No, it's not. They're married in real life. They don't seem like one of those couples that's only going to last a year.
Maybe I should say this. It's the writing that I like. It's also it's not just the writing. It really is the chemistry there. I think they're friends in real life.
Would you say Andrew Garfield is a better actor than Tom Holland?
Yes,
absolutely. Would you say Emma Stone is a better actress than Zendaya?
It is debatable.
Okay, so even if you say this, even if
neck and neck,
if you say Zendaya and Emma Stone are neck and neck actresses, then you go to the men's side and Andrew Garfield's up here and Tom Holland is right here. So then it's gonna be better acting in the Amazing Spider-Man alone because Andrew Garfield is carrying it, which I love, and Andrew Garfield is my Spider-Man. That chemistry I don't believe in. I look at this and if I'm understanding the chemistry, I'm gonna say once this TV turns off, right? Once the movie stops filming, do they still have chemistry? Two of them live with each other, starting a whole life together.
We can't sit here and say that a romance on screen
chemistry.
is only good if they actually date.
No. But
or if they actually get married.
It's real chemistry. I believe it.
Sucks because they didn't actually get married in real life.
I can believe it.
Cheated.
It lingered off screen. Even when you said cut, they're still kissing.
Oh my gosh.
The way I look at it, Emma Stone, Spider-Man is like puppy love. It's like when you first find the person that you're gonna marry, and you're flirting. It's very flirtatious. I see what you mean by the Tom Holland and Zendaya stuff, where it's all married stuff, but I gravitate more towards the Emma Stone stuff because it's Plus, it's Emma Stone.
I get it.
It's Emma Stone, man.
I get it. So like, of course, the level of which Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield are right are definitely higher than Tom Holland and Zendaya. I get that. I would even say Emma Stone is a better actress than Zendaya. That's fine. I think I think what she's putting together for 2026 is insane. I don't think if anybody's realized, but she's giving you Brand New Day. She's giving you Odyssey. She's giving you oh man, what's the other one? Oh, Dune. And then she's giving you one more. There's another one that came out too, but she's yeah, it's another drama one with Robert Pattinson. So she's giving you a good run for 2026. I still think Emma Stone's a better actress. Can you sit here and say, hey, because they're better actor and actress, you could believe in the chemistry more just based off of them being better actors? Sure. But one felt more real because it is genuinely real off screen. So I'd rather choose to believe that the chemistry is more real in Tom Holland and Zendaya than it is in any other Spider-Man. I'm gonna take that one.
Fair. I mean, at that point, I think it really does come down to a matter of opinion. But because we're not saying that either or is terrible. But going back to what we originally said, you said that you wanted Tom Holland's Spider-Man to move on from MJ and get. Oh, well, actually, how about we switch it up a little? I mean, I'm not against it, but even though I love Zendaya and I want to see them get back together, if they had to go the direction of MJ gone, then why don't we take the position of Black Cat? I think that'd be really interesting to sort of see Black Cat on screen for somebody other than, unfortunately, my future wife, Sydney Sweeney.
I was going to say, who are they going to put as Black Cat? Yeah, Sydney Sweeney. Who else are we going to do?
But, I mean, I'd be interested to sort of see it. I think most people don't even know that Black Cat's even a character.
No, but once they see Black Cat in the comics, they'll be like, yeah, we gotta find a live adaptation of that.
Take my money. Take my money.
I mean, yeah, it would be cool. I just think there's so much more to Peter than MJ. There's so much more to Spider-Man than MJ. Obviously,
MJ's in game though. I mean,
yeah, but,
even in the comics, like I think they're divorced.
Well, there's MJ, there's Gwen Stacy, there's Black Cat. There's so many love interests that he has. We don't always have to just stick with MJ. I just want to see him sort of move on off of his own decision that he chose to make. He chose to walk away from MJ at the end of No Way Home because he saw that she was hurt. But 4 years later, it's a little unhealthy. You chose to move in front of her. You are neighbors now. It's a little unhealthy, buddy. You might want to move on a little bit. So I think Gwen Stacy or Black Cat, I just think another love interest dynamic in there would make it a little bit more entertaining. And then just having your ex for 4 years stalking on their Instagram page, stalking on their lives, and then moving in front of her. It's a little weird.
Nah, you're putting it as if they broke up. This was ripped away from.
And he chose to move on.
They didn't break up, bro. They did
No,
not break
they
up.
didn't
This
break
is not
up.
the same as break up.
I don't say they break up, but he chose to move on. He could have told her, he could have read her the note.
I feel like they're still sitting up Hobgoblin, so I don't think they're gonna pivot away from.
Yeah.
If anything, they'll grow apart, and maybe he'll be Gwen in this arc when he has no friends. But I don't know. They're gonna have to come.
Oh, do you think? Well, then that's a good one. Do you think is it possible that Gwen Stacy could appear in the 4 years then that he doesn't know? But he's not friends with Zendaya and Ned.
You know,
that might be
if
pretty
I'm
cool.
not mistaken, it's funny that you bring this up. I never would have thought about it till right now, but from a comic book standpoint, Peter Parker meets Gwen Stacy in college, and he is in college now.
I wonder if Gwen Stacy went to Empire State.
I think she did. I actually do think that Gwen Stacy did go to Empire State. If you guys didn't know,
She went to Empire State University. Yep.
Empire State University is
I
a
just wanted to
fictional
confirm
college that obviously he goes to. So that's where they meet. So here she is, and he's single. It's college, baby.
There's a whole world out there. Well, then, yeah, there's so many good things. I just kind of want that element of the not the drama, but bringing a couple of those love interests that he has more than just MJ. And I guess the best thing I could ask for in Spider-Man is his dynamic with Daredevil and Punisher. I think if you bring them three together and I see them fight the Hand, that would be
You think
amazing.
Daredevil might make an appearance?
No, yeah, Daredevil's in this movie.
I know that Punisher's in this
No,
movie.
Daredevil's in this movie.
You think-
has to be in this movie?
Has to be.
Yes, I would be upset if Daredevil wasn't in this movie.
Well, that's very interesting.
Why would you show Daredevil as his lawyer in No Way Home and never bring him in again?
Yeah, I mean, just to show that it's a shared universe, I guess.
No, I wouldn't like it. Yeah. The Hand is all Daredevil. So
I hear that.
Daredevil
But
has to be in
What's
that.
going on with Daredevil right now? He's going up against Fisk, and well, actually, we didn't even bring it up till right now. But Fisk, during his inauguration speech as mayor of New York, he said that basically I don't like masked vigilantes. He even brings up Spider-Man in his inauguration speech, like he doesn't like him, and yet in this trailer we're getting him getting the key to the city. So obviously Fisk isn't really around
Anymore.
to do anything. So I don't know what the season 2 of Daredevil is really going to be showing in regards to Fisk, but he's either in jail or moved on to bigger and better, more nefarious things. If that's the case, then
Well, there's no. Well, I'm just putting it out there right now. There's a 100% chance Daredevil is gonna come out in this movie. So I think the best thing I would want is the Punisher, Daredevil, and Spider-Man side by side fighting the Hand. That's what I want. That would be the best thing in my opinion.
Very interesting.
What is your best outcome?
Best outcome. Man, like I said, I don't want this to be an origin story for X-Men. That could be the worst thing that could possibly happen to this movie. This is a Spider-Man movie. Let's keep it Spider-Man.
So then that's your best thing. Just keep it Spider-Man.
Just keep it Spider-Man.
I like it.
That's
Okay.
the worst thing and the best thing. The worst thing that
Okay.
could possibly happen is we make it an X-Men origin story. The best thing that could possibly happen is
Makes
we
sense.
keep it, like you said, grounded to what we know Spider-Man to be. We took this whole route with Tom Holland Spider-Man in connecting it with the Avengers. Fantastic. Not against it whatsoever. It was a fun ride. But now a lot of our favorite Avengers characters are gone. And now, like Harry says, now I have nothing except Spider-Man. You know? Now we got Spider-Man. So let's use that to the degree that it should be utilized respectfully.
Okay. Well, there's so much that we got into today. Spider-Man is an entire world for a lot of other people. It clearly is for me. Across the Spider-Verse, Beyond the Spider-Verse, Into, and all the live action movies. We love them. They're so loved by so many different people. And I just want to thank everybody for continuing to watch us and support us and everything that you do. Everybody's continuing to leave comments, continuing to like. So thank y'all very much. We've grown on our subscribers. I'm manifested into the world. I've said that our goal at the end of the year is to be at 1,000 subscribers. And going into the third, fourth month, I think we're at like 140, 150. So I definitely think we're doing good. So hopefully we can keep continuing to ride the trend and the growth. But thank y'all everybody so much for continuing to support and everything that you do. We are very grateful. We love to do this and continue to tune in because I think we got a couple good stuff coming up here soon. And our live episode we're going to be doing soon. So we'll release some promos for that. But thank y'all so much and we'll see you soon.
With great power comes great responsibility. So late. Later, nerds.